Time for my weekly update on the garage, like the cleaning situation of it all. Let's see. Let's start at the front, I guess. I got this rack out, and it's hanging out. I'm gonna run a trailer to fit that on. All the server stuff in it was already moved out, so this was the battery backup for pretty much the whole operation. They're ugly, but they work. And they're actually really heavy. They're about 35 pounds each, with no batteries in them. I had them set up, I don't remember which one. I only used one. But one of these would connect to all four of the lawnmower batteries. And that would power the servers in the event of a small power outage. We're talking maybe 4 or 5 minutes. This server here actually doesn't work, but I used it as a shelf. I had laid it across these supports and used that because I didn't have a shelf and I needed to set drives on. So this is all scrap now. This is all worthless, at least to me. I got some old cables, wiring and stuff from other projects, but none of this is valuable to me anymore. So it's out. All of this stuff is going to storage. All these chemicals, paints, brake fluid, stuff like that, I got cleaned up. All the tools and loose bolts, got that handled. Of course, what that really means is that I got them all in the same box. So all my tools are in here. Let's see what's kind of next to do. Also, I got some bolts in here. These are not sorted. Got some stuff for Maddie's plants and our little plant life projects. That stuff is trash. It's been here since we bought the house. Couple little items. There is a small shelf. I'm gonna be repainting that, putting it in my audio rack in the office. I got a mix of like electrical, server, car part stuff in that bin. Need to sort through that this weekend. And then I got all of this cleaned up so that the HVAC guy can come out and take a look for a new HVAC system. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Got some dirty clothes. Well, actually, I think these are clean clothes. We'll just easily move that to the side. And then we have kind of like this work in progress also. Just needs like sorted, cleaned. This stuff needs to find a home, but none of it's difficult. And then if you're asking yourself, damn, does this grow like Ghost protein powder? The answer is kind of. I like the Oreo stuff, but Maddie has to have like protein shakes every day. So she's tried several flavors, but because all of the bins are the same size, it's very easy to like stack these up. Every one of these has bolts in them. One of them is like full of like 10 millimeter bolts. Well, the heads are 10 mil for the Eclipse, and then 12, 14, there's a 17 and 19 bin, and then the other ones are unsorted also. So the goal is to take all of these containers with bolts in them and basically dump them, clean them, and then sort them, and then all of our common vehicle nuts and bolts will have their own container, and I'll build a small shelf where everything's nice, neat, and the same size. Some of these will go in there too, because I use a lot of this Unistress stuff. So like these are bolts that I use with the anchors for those, washers, stuff like that. A bunch of mixed project stuff. And then, like, I cleaned this space out, but then I immediately filled it up with other stuff. So I got my roadside pack out thing out there, and then my electrical kit buried underneath this. So yeah, it's moving along. It's going nicely. I got like some of my detailing stuff in this bin, and then I've got the rest of my detailing stuff in these two bins. So the main floor space is coming along nicely. It's not perfect yet, but we're getting there. Once I get the floor handled, I can take care of this desk because it's got, or workbench, it's got to go. Okay, now, the air conditioner. Let me tell you about this stupid air conditioner. This is not the air conditioner I purchased when I bought the home. This is actually an air handler that I bought on Facebook Marketplace that has a matching outdoor unit, condenser compressor unit outside. I bought this thing for like $400. It was from like a DMV, but it was the same size as the unit that was in the house, which didn't work. As a matter of fact, the fins were like rotting off of the coils and everything. And the compressor locked up. It was R22. Nobody was willing to fix it. So I bought this one, which is also R22, but also a gas furnace, just like the one we had before. So I bought it for like $400. It's a high efficiency furnace. So I added the exhaust for that. And I had somebody come out and set up the two copper lines. I forget what they're called because I'm not an HVAC tech. Also R22, he filled it up and it worked for an hour. And he left, it worked for an hour and then quit working because there were leaks in the copper. And it was made in 2005. It's now currently, 2024. So I was like, you know what? Let's just let's call our favorite HVAC guys and just get a new unit, right? So what I've been told by these guys is because we're in a garage, they can't just sell us a brand new unit. And the reason why is because there's an opportunity for noxious fumes, exhaust, all that stuff to inadvertently get sucked into the ductwork. So if you're not familiar with how these systems work, for a high efficiency furnace, there are two air streams. There's the intake for the air that fuels the flame, and then the exhaust for that. And then there's the airstream that comes from the house, gets conditioned for heat or cold, and then it goes back through to the house. And this ductwork goes to the attic, and this one goes back under the house to feed the registers there. That's how it works, at least in my case. So for any time there's air flowing through here, it has the opportunity to suck in the air from this space. And if this space has toxic anything in it, it's going to basically get pumped into the house, which would obviously be bad. So there's a code in place for that. I don't know how new that code is or when it was established or anything like that. And the truth is, it doesn't matter. It makes sense. I'm not going to argue it or anything like that. But the way to fix this is that we have to build what they're calling a mechanical room or a mechanical closet. It goes from here to right here. It can be small. And then it's got to enclose the ductwork. So I'm not going to break out a tape measure and try to single-handedly measure this crap, but you can see it's more than 30 inches. That's at least how big that door is. It's got to be drywalled in, and it's gonna encase all of the ductwork. Now, the trick here is they said that it could stop at the ceiling as long as there weren't any big holes in there. And I don't know if they call that a big hole. I don't know if they call that a big hole. But I am certain they're gonna call that a big hole, and that's how I bought the house. Like, maybe I could remove that. I doubt it's complicated. Like, I may just have to knock these supports out and drop this platform. But also, like, no. And now that I look at it today, this actually looks a little less intimidating. Building a room, like a rectangle room around this may not be so bad. But the concern is that I don't know how to seal anything that meets the floor so that nothing gets sucked through that gap. I don't know if I need to use like a special kind of sealant or fabric. And then additionally, going through this area is going to be interesting. I gotta seal up this stuff. And it's been a while since I've been in that part of the house. Our joists or rafters run this way, so they run that way, and that means I've got one there right against the ductwork, and I've got one right behind the ductwork, and that's all got to get sealed off all the way to the second story. I think that's the only way it's gonna meet code, is if we do it like that, which means some of this stuff has to be moved. This unit has to come out for us to do this work, even if I pay a contractor. Like, we gotta remove it. We'll have to remove the unit, and we will have to get we'll have to extend it all the way up into the attic. And I'm not taking this up there right now. Maybe in a different video, but yeah. And so we're gonna have this room right here. So like, as soon as we leave the door, we're gonna have this space over here taken up. I'm not super pleased about it, but I am considering making the dimensions in such a way that like I can push these straight back, and we may try to relocate the water heater into that back corner so that everything is like nice and flush and like uniform over here, instead of it being, you know, the Charlie Fox that it is. So on top of that, they said that the intake register that we have in the house is too small for code, and they're gonna have to put in a second one, which is gonna complicate things for our closet. It's crazy. Yeah, another concern is that like the gas line and the electrical runs back behind this unit. Like, there's so much work to be done in such a small space. I have no idea. I was becoming confident about trying to build the closet itself, but I don't know. I think we're probably gonna have a contractor do this. So, yeah, making some progress. The garage is continuing to be usable, but and continuing to get cleaned up. But also, the adventures with this house never, ever end.